What's up, metalheads, and welcome to episode 3 of the Metal Memoirs. I'm Lord Metalblade, and joining me today is my lovely girlfriend, as usual, Yami. Say hi, honey.
Hi.
And joining us is our good buddy. We know him well. He is the JV.
Sup, people?
All right, welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. And for today's episode, controlling the game. Basically, we love video games. Who doesn't? And we've played a lot of games over the years, so we wanted to take this time to talk about on the show our favorite games and what made them so great. Kind of similar to episode 1, but this time we're talking about our favorite games. So, where should we start, guys?
I think we should start with the games that introduced us to the whole concept of video games in general. Like the first game that really got us hooked in as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, for me, like, the first game, of course, was Mario, the NES days. Also, welcome in, Drax. Hello, bud. But yeah, no, back in the old N64 and NES days, Super Mario for me.
For me, it was definitely my parents' old Sega Genesis, and of course, Sonic 1.
Ooh, see, I never owned a Sega Genesis, but I have played one. Parents' friends, they actually had a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis, and that was my introduction to Sonic.
My dad actually had a Sega Genesis back when we were kids, but we never actually played it. He did have a Sonic game. I don't know where the hell he got it. To tell you the truth, I never took my dad for a Sonic fan, actually.
Bitwire Sonic Adventure. That was another one that I played. They did have Sonic Adventure on that Sega. So, no, I believe it was the Dreamcast.
Mm.
Well, for me, it was that and and the Toy Story for Sega Genesis. I saw the commercials for that while watching the videotape of Toy Story and thinking that has to be the coolest video game ever. Of course, I was only 5 at the time.
Right. I remember watching the Toy Story VHS and the promo for the online CD-ROM and the
SNES. Yes.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh my God, the commercials for all those Disney CD-ROM games, I always wanted to play those.
You know what's funny, though? Those old NES games like Toy Story, The Lion King, those are some of the hardest video games ever.
Nobody can beat the Nintendo's Lion King game. Nobody to this day probably can. Even that YouTuber, Rebecca Parham, said that she had a hard time beating those levels.
No, I don't think I've ever played the Lion King video games. I think the only games out of the movies that I've ever played, I played Aladdin and Toy Story.
Ooh, nice. Well,
there's only one Lion King game that I am very familiar with. It was actually, I think this was my sister's game that we both shared for the Game Boy Advance. They made a video game for the Lion King 1.5. That's the only Lion King game I've ever played.
Oh my gosh, the Lion
You know what's funny? I think I remember seeing an advertisement back in 2005 or so for that.
Jeez. Where was I? Let me see. Where was I? Where was I when the Xbox came out?
I remember when the Xbox came out. I all the games from back in 2002.
We're sitting there with my friends, and we was drinking Monster, eating Doritos, and we was gaming.
The Toy Story CD-ROM ads were the best. They were, Drax. Like,
yes, they were.
For
totally
me,
totally hot wire.
I never played those for the most part, unfortunately, but the hottest 90s game for me was Game Boy, Toy Story, and PS1, A Bug's Life. I do remember A Bug's Life for PS1. See, like, not only did the advertisements make the hype for those games so good, but it just, like, it captivated the movies well for me. Like, those late 90s, the early 2000s Disney games, back when the CD-ROM was a thing, a lot of people nowadays won't even know. A lot of these kids won't even know that you actually you could buy a disc. Like, the PCs that we have today, a lot of people mod their PCs. I don't know if I'll ever do it to mine, but to have an actual like CD-ROM insert in there. But I don't want to take apart my PC to do that. But finding emulators to play those games is actually a good way to do that.
Oh totally.
I've heard of a lot of people, building things like Frankenstein computers just to be able to get those things working.
Mm.
See, for me, I've seen a lot of hybrid PCs. Some have actually had like they've had Xbox and PlayStations put into it, but like, could you imagine like the amount of energy and power you need to run that monster? Oh, the hardest
no.
games. Oh, the hardest games. I'm gonna get into what I think is the hardest game that I've ever played in a hot minute. But Tay, I want to ask you this:
What?
out of all the games that you've played, is there any one to you? And Jay, I'm gonna get to you on this too. What was the one game that stuck out to you the most as a kid?
Well, obviously, like the way I first started playing video games was through my dad's old Nintendo system that we had, and it was a mixed bag for me. I actually grew up with not just the original Mario games, like you had Mario 1, Mario 2, Mario 3, which was what me and my sister played constantly, but you also had the very first Legend of Zelda game.
That's true. That was another part of the NES that I had. We had Mario, Zelda, Duck Hunt.
Yeah, we had Duck Hunt too. We had the other, was it Mario Brothers, where it's that one like pipe game with Mario and Luigi. Like me and my sister used to play that. There was Donkey Kong that we used to do. There was actually something similar, but they did a Popeye version of Donkey Kong, which I didn't even know we had for the longest time, and that was one of mine and my sister's favorite games to play. So we kind of like we were mixed on the very like first Nintendo until we started getting our Game Boy Advances, and we got GameCube. For me was where me being an active gamer really kicked in, and it's a tie for me between these two games. It's either between Mario Kart Double Dash or Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Those two games I remember playing so much when I was a kid. They're the two that stick out to me the most. Those two picked me up to being the active gamer that I am.
And I'm currently doing a playthrough of Ocarina of Time right now, which is becoming one of my new favorite Zelda games. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, JV, your turn. The one game to stick out to you as a kid.
The one game that really stuck out to me as a kid, here's the weird thing. When I was a kid, the games that really stuck out to me the most were obviously the PC-ROM games, the CDs that, a disclaimer for people who don't know, you actually had to buy the disc, as Metalhead said, and you had to put it into the computer and wait for it to load and then play the game. And then you also got the chance to, up your score, play multi-level player games, and so on and so forth. Those were the only games for me for the longest time, and video games were just an occasional thing because I didn't really have too good a hand-eye coordination when it came to handheld controllers. But I would say that when my brother started getting into video games in the early 2010s, when Minecraft was starting to become a big hot commodity, and he was a huge Angry Birds, Star Wars, Lego, Minecraft kind of person, I would definitely say that's when I started to say, if I'm going to bond with the little guy, I might as well just, jump in on the bandwagon. And that's when it slowly started to percolate, and I slowly became aware of other video games that I could actually play that pertained to my interests. My first legitimate video game that I played, aside from Sonic on the Sega Genesis, which was my dad's, and by the way, I come to find out later on he had an original Atari.
Ooh, that's classic right there.
With all the original games to go with it.
Oh, nice.
One moment, guys. It would be Cars and SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom for PS2. Those are great games, Drax.
Oh, those are good games.
For me, there was a lot of games that I played growing up, before I was becoming a hardcore gamer. I played Mario, but back when we got our PS1, getting introduced to, of course, Spyro, all the like the Rugrats games. But the one game that was probably the hardest that I've ever played as a kid was Rayman.
Oh,
I never played any of the Rayman games.
You want to talk about a game that can then the first real like rage games. But don't get me wrong, the game was still incredibly fun. The visuals were incredible. The soundtrack was perfect in my eyes, but the stages themselves, they were a nightmare, especially when you get to a specific area called Bandland. The reason why is because there are certain surfaces that Rayman that walks on. They're music bars, but you slide on. So it's precision platforming, and the enemy placements, because enemies can spawn randomly. That was like probably one of the most infuriating and exciting things as a kid, because this was something that me and my brother bonded over. We would fire up the game. We would either play, like, say I play until I die, then he goes. But what we found to be more fun and more fair, we would play by levels. We would play the one level, like I would complete a level, then he would play. He would play a level, I would play the next level.
No way, man. I think the hardest platforming, multi-level game that I've ever experienced personally when I was in my early 20s was Donkey Kong Country. That was the hardest game I had ever experienced, and to this day, I hate those damn bees.
See, unfortunately for me, I can't really say much about Donkey Kong because I never played those as a kid.
Neither did I.
But now,
other than the original, like very first Donkey
the
Kong
arcade game, yes, that's the exception. I did play DK64 though.
Yeah, everything from the original like Donkey Kong game that came out, I've never played any of the Donkey Kong games.
Well, I was actually able to because my buddy was able to, get the games downloaded all onto his platformer free of having physical media. So he played it, and I'm like, this actually looks pretty interesting. So I played it, and I became hooked. I'm a huge fan of the whole game series, and yet I have not played Donkey Kong Country 2 or Donkey Kong Country 3, but the newest Donkey Kong Country game I've seen, let's switch topics there, I think that the new Donkey Kong Country looks pretty darn good. Especially, I know people might have a little weird things to say about how Pauline's design looks very cringe almost.
Are you talking about Bonanza, Jay?
Yeah.
That I am looking forward to. I do want to play DK Bonanza.
Donkey Kong Bonanza honestly looks like a really fun game. I actually really want to play it.
Yeah, it looks like a big wild ride. There's this big burly man and his derpy sidekick, Pauline, and obviously she's taken Diddy's place. So, I think it's going to be like the next generation of Donkey Kong games, in my opinion. I really hope that this takes off.
See, with the response the game got, like, I never had it. Like, I'm thinking about getting it to play it for a playthrough, or maybe even streaming it. The buzz about DK Bonanza was actually pretty positive from my eyes. I mean, a lot of criticisms I've seen on Twitter, I've seen on Blue Sky, I've seen on forums, which I haven't played the game, so I can't really give my full criticisms. But from what I've seen, it looks phenomenal. Coming from somebody who hasn't really played much Donkey Kong besides DK64, the original arcade, and a little bit of DK Country.
I'd say that everybody's entitled to their own, how do I want to put this nicely? Their own thoughts and feedback on every game, especially when it comes to Nintendo characters, Sega characters, Capcom, the like.
Ooh, Capcom.
Yeah,
no, with a lot of those
oldie in there, I know.
With a lot of those older games from when we were young,
Shout out to anybody who remembers Capcom actually having pinball games.
Oh my gosh, Capcom Pinball. I think I played that in my elementary school computer lab one time.
I know.
Oh, speaking of desktop pinball from back in the day. Y'all know what I'm on about.
Space pinball.
Sweetheart, you know what I'm on about.
No, actually.
You don't know?
No.
You don't know?
No, I actually don't.
Okay, let's clear in.
Okay, so basically, say you have a computer that doesn't have access to internet. Certain computers would have this. It's basically, it has a specific name. I got to find out what it was called.
I can clue you in on that. It was called Space Pinball.
Yeah, Space Pinball.
It was basically a built-in game on computer desktops where you opened it up and you used the arrow keys on your keyboard to basically activate the flippers like a pinball machine.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That was the source of entertainment when your computer didn't have internet.
And I And for all of you people who love that game, it's actually available for game downloads on your iPhone. You can download the app and play the game on your phone.
I don't have iPhone, but you do have a tablet, sweetheart, so you can get it.
Well, I could if I wanted to, sure.
I don't
No,
have iPhone though, so
But here's what I will tell you though, because some of the computer games that my nanny actually used to play when we had like one of the very first like old like friggin' dinosaur computers back in the day. I know there was only one game that was built into the computer that we had, and she would play it constantly. She was so addicted to solitaire computer games, and I remember her sitting in the back room of our house on the computer for hours playing solitaire.
you know, that was one game, not even like a video game, but just a game in general that I just could never understand. It wasn't until I was like in my early 20s when I finally understood the concept of the game.
Mm.
Well, I'd have to say that, oh yeah, the thing that really got me hooked was when I got a Nintendo Switch, and this is the Lite. I didn't even think that I would want one, but when I got one, I was pretty excited, especially when I found out that I could download some games that I knew about and wanted from my childhood for PC-ROM games, but my parents never got, partially because I never told them. So these games were the humongous entertainment computer games.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's like another good, like one of the first like bigger computer games I ever got a chance to play was Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh yeah,
I've
games.
heard of I heard those games were pretty popular back in the day.
Oh, they were. There was a big buzz for those. Like not even just roller coaster.
Everybody wanted to get their hands on those.
Not just Roller Coaster Tycoon, but like there was Railroad Tycoon, there was City Builder Tycoon, like anything you could think of. There was a tycoon game for it.
You realize that in a lot of these, computer train simulators, they use a lot of Railroad Tycoon sound effects, right? Because it was that much of a source.
That's right.
I'll tell you this much. If we're gonna go on this topic with like computer games, how can you call yourself a gamer if you hadn't played, whether you owned them or say if you went to your local library and played these, any of the Thomas and Friends computer games?
Hey-o!
Oh, those right there. See,
I got it all. I beat you right there. I've got Great Festival Adventure, Trouble on the Tracks, Building the New Line, The Railways Adventure. I had it all.
I played every single one of those games over at my local library when I was a kid.
I had the big,
God, it was so much fun.
had the interactive controller snapped right onto the keyboard.
Nice.
I never got that chance.
I got the drip.
Yes, the drip, he says. Yeah, no, unfortunately, I saw those games in stores, but unfortunately, I never got the chance of playing them.
I remember seeing, I'm telling you, I remember seeing those games in stores, and I gotta tell you, I would beg my mom and dad to get them, but because they were also like pretty uptight back in the day when me and my sister would go on the computer, because they were worried about, what websites we went on. Obviously, they were worried about viruses and this and that, but sometimes, they let us, be a little loose with it. And there were only two websites that we ever went on where me and my sister could play games. And it was either the old Nick Jr. site where, oh my God, that brings back a lot of memories.
Those websites.
We either went on the very, very first Nick Jr. or later on we went on to the Noggin website and we played all different kinds of games on there. Or we did whatever on the PBS Kids website back in the day.
Oh, those right there. Oh, those right there.
We never went on to play games.
Oh, that's another good switch of a topic. Website games. Those old, Adobe software that we remember so fondly playing.
Freeonlinegames.com, baby.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the one game that sticks out the most in my mind was Holiday Hangman.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no, there was another one from my old elementary school days. Oh my gosh, not brain pop. What was it called? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. But it was like there was a specific game called Wimp oh my gosh, it was like a stick, it was like a pencil drawn stick figure. He had to jump. Mighty Guy. It was called Mighty Guy.
Mighty Guy, yes, I remember that.
I've never heard of this.
Okay,
Oh
so this was one of those flash games. Fun Brain. Fun Brain was the game site.
Yes. Oh my God, Fun Brain brings back a lot of elementary school memories for me. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jay, Fun Brain was like one of those educational game sites, but the games that they had on there were so entertaining. Like Mighty Guy, it was a side scrolling like platformer, so to speak. There was another one, Creepy Crawlers.
Yes, I remember that one.
Wait, was this the place that had like Club Penguin and such?
I believe yes, it had Penguin Drop.
Oh wait.
Yeah, yes.
Because I'm looking at it right now. This looked like it, but yeah, it's a penguin. The Penguin Drop. Oh, okay.
This right here was basically what we had fun with back in the day. Like this was elementary school. Like this was right before Diary of a Wimpy Kid was coming out and everything. But oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it's right here in the books and comics.
Oh yeah, that's like probably one of the best things. Like,
oh, here it is. Yeah, Mighty Guy. It looks like this weird little stick figure with a couple of hairs at the top of its head.
Oh, that's Mighty Gal. Yeah, because the Mighty Guy, then Mighty Gal. That one got re-released later.
Oh, I see. Well, okay, here's another one, and I definitely remember this from 5th grade. Yahooligans.com.
Ooh, that one, it sounds familiar, but I'm not quite sure on that one.
Yahooligans.com was the place that my classmates and I went on the computer during free time to play all of these other games. And occasionally, when I was a little bit younger, I couldn't remember it. I know that a lot of other people will. Before we had Google and Yahoo, we had to ask Jeeves.
Oh my gosh, Ask Jeeves, yes. Sweetheart. Okay, so what year was this, Jay? Like 2000, I want to say 2002, 2003 when we had the game. So it was in the computer lab. They were not blocked because certain websites were blocked back then. So there were certain computers, like we would have our computer lab and then we would have the teacher's own computers. Those, for some reason, they didn't have certain websites blocked. This is way before YouTube was a thing. So that is how we got onto free online games. We got to go on cartoonnetwork.com. We got to go on.
What'd you say, babe?
Oh no, I was talking about how the certain computer games and certain computers didn't have certain websites blocked.
No.
Oh, that's right. You know what's fun? You say that because I actually, for the life of me, I cannot remember what the name of this friggin' game is. There was this one website, I think, what the hell was it called? I think it was something along the line of, I think like freeonlinegames.com or whatever.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Free online games.
Okay. I don't know if you've ever heard of this game. Okay, there was this one particular mouse game that everyone used to go friggin' nuts over. And for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it.
Okay, it's okay. So was it okay? I think I know what you're on about, hun. Was it this like mouse-like character that saw like, no, that's a rabbit. I'm not thinking about that. But no, for you guys watching, Free Online Games was probably one of the best internet gaming websites from back then because is Free Online Games still a thing?
I don't know.
I gotta check this out because I feel like for the life of me,
I don't know if it is.
Because a lot of these websites got debunked years ago.
Yeah.
But
you gotta be careful with some of those too because of like viruses and stuff. So
yeah, no, like I think that was another reason. Why? Because I remember. I think Toontown.
I think it was Spy Mouse.
Was it Spy Mouse? Oh, I don't remember.
Maybe the people watching may know this if they remember those games from back in the day.
Yeah, for the life of me, I legitimately. Oh wait, no. Oh no. It wasn't a mouse game. Oh my god, no. I think. Oh, I wish I could. No. Oh my God. What the hell was it called? Um, I think the game was called like no, but I think it was called something like Bubble Trouble. I think something like that.
Bubble Trouble.
You wait, it had that little green dinosaur dude,
I think so. I think so.
and you had to pop all those bubbles. My mom was obsessed with that computer game.
Yeah. I think it was something along that line.
You want to know something though? You want to know something? Bubble Trouble sounds familiar, but one game, I don't even know if it exists anymore. Like, it made copies. This was another one of those school games. Reader Rabbit.
Oh,
That's
something for you guys watching. That's old school, like those old educational games.
This is the game. Okay, wait. This is the game I was on about. Okay, okay, I see it. I gotta get a picture and send it to Jay. Copy image. Okay.
While she's doing that, another game. This one right here. I think everybody knows this one. Toontown.
ooh.
And there goes my Facebook.
There you go. This is one of the screenshots. This is what it was called. Bubble Trouble. Like I said, I was like, no.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was like, no, it can't be a mouse game. And I'm like, I know it has something to do with bubbles. And I just typed in Bubble Trouble. That's the game. That was the game that me and all my friends used to play when we were back in elementary school. That game was so much fun.
See, the thing is, you guys, of course, living in different states and everything, you guys probably got access to other different games because me being in California, of course, different producers would send out those games, especially not just to schools, but they would, there was a specific way that they did it because certain areas and certain districts would level out and separate different types of arithmetic games. But then, because you have one area, because I believe there were certain ones, not even just like across the country, but like global. And then that's how they get released out onto certain servers for different districts. This is something one of my other friends told me, like, especially in that yearly span from, I want to say 2001 to 2006, before there was a break off on it, they would have all of these sites locked in a specific area, like Funbrain, we just mentioned earlier. To those of you new tuning in, we're talking about certain games that made our childhood so great, and we're talking about those old school games that we got to play. So before I even got into like different, like the Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, PBS Kids, what you said, hun, there was a specific program that I played. I can't even remember. I've looked on archive to find this. It was an educational, it was basically like, it was like math speedball. It was like basketball themed. There was like a bunch of balls in a cup. You had to determine what color, if it was certain possible or impossible to do that. But for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what it was called. Like, it was like CCA education, CCA games. I literally could not find it. It was probably one of the best things in elementary school, going to the computer lab and seeing that familiar screen. Me and my friends, our faces would light up because we knew what it meant. But I literally can't even find it anymore. It's like one of those things that's just lost media. You want to talk about lost media? This is it right here.
Oh, yeah.
Second that. A lot of these older, computer games, especially games that we used to just exclusively play on the websites, are definitely harder to come by. I, in particular, the one game I loved the most playing on the computer, especially back in the later 2000s, like right up until 2010, was definitely, shout outs to any of you dudes that remember this one, Foster's Big Fat Awesome House Party.
That one right there. I played that one, JV. I played that one.
I had it. I played it. It was like,
hey, Will, Fusion Fall. Yes. You remember that one too, Will? Oh God, I almost called you Will. Jay, Fusion Fall? Yep. Honey, have you heard of Fusion Fall?
Fusion Fall. I know it's bells.
I'm not familiar with that.
That one, there was a Cartoon Network game. Basically all of the characters were like, their designs were upgraded. I didn't play much of it. Oh my gosh. This is freaking bringing back some memories right here.
Oh, here's another memory breaker. Here's another shift in the topic. CD-ROMs that you used to get in the cereal boxes.
Oh, I remember. CCN MMO. That's what it was.
Because whenever I got a game in the cereal box, it was like magic. It was like the greatest free game that I could have ever had. And 9 times out of 10, they were usually board game related. They were usually just CD-ROM versions of board games like Monopoly or Sorry.
I remember going to Albertsons and they actually had those at the checkout line. They would have different versions of different, like they would have Monopoly. They would have God, what was that one game? Kerplunk. If you guys remember that one, that's one. They had Kerplunk, they had Monopoly, they had Sorry back when Sorry was first coming out.
I could have swore they also had something similar for like Candyland back in the day. Didn't they?
They did have a Candyland. They did have a Candyland one, hun. They did have a Candyland one.
I remember this was the game that I also played like on nauseum as a little kid. The Candyland PC-ROM game. I still.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh, quick. Tell me if this little dude looks familiar.
Oh, 1 second.
He does look familiar.
Yeah, he does.
This was my man right there. Sam is my man.
Now, the other thing that I really wanted to know, when it comes to like the evolution from, I want to say the mid 2000s, back when the consoles, because jumping from, computer to consoles, like if there's any game, and you guys in chat watching, what type of game was like your safe space, like a safe space game? Like a comfort game. That's the term I'm looking for. Comfort game.
Well, babe, I'm gonna tell you what. If you know me by now, my comfort games were anything Legend of Zelda related.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda is honestly out there, especially with Ocarina of Time.
If you want one specifically, because it's my favorite Legend of Zelda game, the one that I would play almost consistently next to, say, Ocarina or Wind Waker, Twilight Princess.
Which I will be doing next. I've seen gameplay of it too, hun. Twilight Princess is going to be the next game I'm going to play. It looks so good. Jay, what about you?
I'd say that my comfort game was DuckTales Remastered.
Ooh, I've seen that one too.
Yeah, for the Wii U.
Oh my gosh. The first ever comfort game for me, you guys might... Oh, Battle for Bikini Bottom. Thank you, Will. Of course. Drax was talking about that earlier too.
I actually remember I had Battle for Bikini Bottom and the SpongeBob movie back in the day on GameCube.
Oh my god.
You want to talk about you?
Oh, shameless plugging right here. If anybody you guys know about this place, a couple of years ago I went to the gift shop of this place and got my brother a SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom movie GameCube game from this place. It's called Pastimes Arcade. It is
No.
You know what's funny? You just reminded me with something too, Jay. Not only did I remember back in the day when I had the GameCube game for Battle for Bikini Bottom, I had the Game Boy version of that too.
Oh shit!
I had the SpongeBob Curse of the Flying Dutchman for Game Boy.
I never played that, and I always wanted to.
That one is one of the more obscure SpongeBob games, because you had Battle for Bikini Bottom.
There's two of them. There's two of them that I still need to do. I need to do the Flying Dutchman one, but the one that I really want to do is Creature from the Krusty Krab.
That one I didn't even get a chance to play. That one, Creature from the Krusty Krab.
To play that. I really want to.
You want to talk about a game that's so wholesome you can just relax and play? Real Fishing.
Yep, never played that.
See, this is one of my stepdad's games from back then. I remember plugging it in and playing it and just being mesmerized by the music. Like this music you can fall asleep to, but it was so fun to actually, go to these streams and rivers and actually just it was a fishing simulator, and it was just incredible. It makes me really want to find that game and play it again.
Yeah, I think that I definitely will say again, DuckTales Remastered
There's
is a comfort game for me because not only are the graphics very pleasing, not only does it feel nostalgic for the show that it's representing, but the fact that they got all of the original cast members to voice these characters, which hits a little bit harder when you know that they have passed away. And their
Oh,
voices
yeah.
May
are
they rest in peace. May they rest in peace.
Mhm.
It's just a shame with all these voice actors and actresses from back in the day that basically voiced our childhood in these games.
Oh, yeah.
Who here remembers when Cartoon Network had Java games like Ed, Ed, Nettie, Skate Park, and a Kids Next Door game? I do remember that, Casey.
They're all like that. Yeah, I remember when Cartoon Network had all
Network.
those games up. That was actually that did become another website that me and my sister went on. Funny enough. Oh my god, what the hell was it? I'm trying to remember what franchise this was from. This was from, oh my god. Oh, was it from Cartoon Network? Or oh my god. I remember there's this one little I think, what is it, like a hamster or whatever that gets shot out of a cannon and you got to keep it like up. I don't remember what.
Sweetheart, you just unlocked the door when you said hamster.
I don't remember what.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Called?
It's like no. Hamtaro is going to be what I'm going to be getting to in a sec, Jay. But hey, it's like right there. It's like right there for me too. Hamster out of a cannon.
You shoot, yeah. You like launch a hamster out of a cannon and you got to keep it like up in the air, like getting items. I don't remember what the name of that game is.
Flight of the Hamsters, Hamster Cannon.
Is that what it? Oh, was it that what it's called?
Oh my gosh, with the hamster, Casey.
The hamster. But yeah, but like Brandon said, yeah, speaking of hamsters, yep, I remember there was only one Hamtaro game I had back in the day on Game Boy Advance, Ham Heartbreak.
Which is my favorite Game Boy Advance game of all time.
It's one of my favorite games from childhood. I love that game so much.
You want to talk about, a comfort game. That is it right there.
Well, that was a good one too. 100%.
I'll tell you this right now, Jay. Being a fan of the show,
Which was a show of mine too.
Playing this game, literally like the score, the story, the gameplay itself was just phenomenal. Like, I'll tell you what though, Spat is basically Diesel 10 if he was a hamster.
Spat and Harmony are really interesting characters.
Yes, they are. They never got a little off topic real quick. It's a shame they never got brought to the US for the anime.
I know, that's crazy.
But 1 second, Dexter's Laboratory Runaway Robot. That was one I did get a glimpse of.
I never played that.
Creep.
Wait. Here's one. DisneyChannel.com, and this was a Lilo and Stitch game, the Sandwich Stacker, 625 Sandwich Stacker.
Oh,
game.
I remember that one. I remember playing that one religiously.
I played that game.
I remember doing that.
Freaking times. It was so good.
I do remember actually like going back when I turned a teenager. I do remember going on to Disney Channel, but I also had a soft spot for going on Playhouse Disney too.
Who hasn't? I mean, it's like it's a staple of our childhood.
I had such a soft spot going on, mainly the Playhouse Disney website, because they had some awesome games on there.
The original Playhouse Disney.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, honey.
No, I remember most of the games that they had on there. They had stuff for Bear. They had Roly Poly Oly. They had Wiggles, Stanley. There was Bear, Roly Poly Oly, Stanley, Wiggles. The original Playhouse Disney website back in the day was stacked with games.
We had it made back in the day.
We had it made.
Let's just say it like this. For us, like when we all started these games, we were spoiled back in the day.
We had it laid out. These Gen Zs don't even know how good we had it.
I think another staple There was another website similar to free online games. I don't know if this was a UK site specifically, but it was called fetchfido.uk.
Never heard of that.
This one, I want to say summer 2003, summer 2004, I want to say. This was like me, my brother, and my sister. We lived on my mom's computer playing these games on this website because for the life of me, like there was slime volleyball, there was tanks, there was I encountered my first ever like screamer with a jump scare called Kikia, terrified me to pieces. There was tic-tac-toe, Pong, Helicopter, if you guys remember Helicopter.
Nope.
The OG Angry Bird. There was that. I'm trying to think of other ones, but like we lived off of this website because of how fun the games were. There was Roller Coaster Creator. It was like a 2D roller coaster builder. It was a lot of fun. Like we basically lived off of those games back when Abode Flash Player.
Adobe.
Oh yeah.
There were also certain games that couldn't be run because my mom's computer at the time just didn't have the power to run it. But when we logged in and played the games, literally like we would, for hours on end, we would play these games and just have a ball, laugh, have a good time. And like, that's something that the three of us bonded. This was before Parker was born. For those, Parker's my, our youngest brother. Like this is like right around the time when he was about to be born. So we were playing these games and it was a good bonding experience for the three of us because we were close. And, you know, whether if it's like going and playing at the park or playing, outside our house, video games for us was basically like a way to escape from things. And we would play, babe, I told you about this. When I'm going to do Spider-Man with Hayden, that's going to be a given. Spider-Man for the PS1.
It's funny you bring that up because I do remember back in the day there was a Spider-Man game that I had for the GameCube. Oh my God. I never actually completed it.
Oh no.
I never completed it. The only thing I can tell you specifically that I remember is you see Spider-Man like looking for like clues, I guess, on his like his Uncle Ben's killer. And I remember like, you know, there's like a city level. The next one, there's like a warehouse level. I never could get past the warehouse. Never.
Oh, that's another good topic to shift to. Games that we have played but have never completed.
Oh my gosh, I could write a book on that one.
Yeah, like I said, that particular Spider-Man game, yeah, never finished it.
Oh, here's one that my brother hated but loved and kept playing for the sake of saying this, I'm playing through, was the Sonic Generations.
Oh my gosh.
Never had a chance for that one yet.
Now that one was for the Sega Dreamcast, was it not?
He kept playing through it. He got right to the end where he basically faced off the big boss. And this was like the biggest moment for my brother. You got to admit, this was back in like the 2010s when Sonic was entering into a new era of his games.
Oh, that's around the time. That's around the time Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games was coming out, not?
Yes.
That was around the time of the Mario Olympic Games.
Oh,
yeah.
The truest way to play the game is to have a clear, conscious mind and...
one second. I had a Spider-Man game for the N64. It might be the same one, Casey. That might be the same one because it came out for the N64 and PS1. Same with Resident Evil 2. The only thing that sucked was that you need to have a controller. Oh, the controller packs for the N64. God, I remember those.
Wait. Oh, I was just about to tell you my comfort. The second comfort for me is any Nintendo 64 game. Because the N64, in my opinion, is like the perfect console.
Oh, like top five console for me by far is the N64.
Yeah, the vibrations on those controllers, like solid.
They're ridiculous.
I'm honestly thinking about getting a freaking Switch N64 controller for my continuation of Ocarina of Time.
You should have. Probably be easier for you.
Now Metalheads. Now we're going into N64 territory. Right now, what I want to try to do, I have my old N64 in my closet. I want to see if I can try to get it out and see if I can try to actually get it set up and so I can actually have it to my computer.
You probably could do it if you just got to watch what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, and I will tell you, speaking of N64, Jay, you want to know what's a game for the 64 that I started playing but never finished?
GoldenEye 007.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, Banjo-Kazooie. I played that once. I played that once, babe.
You want to talk about a pain in the ass game? Oh my God.
Have, stats or anything like that. You're basically just running around by the seat of your own wit.
Literally.
You're basically like Bird, Bear, Bravo, Alpha, meet at 0.5. No, it's none of that shit. It's literally just running around like a bunch of goobers, collecting puzzle pieces, and trying to, well, you're technically trying to save, Banjo's little sister.
Uh-huh.
But aside from that, you're basically just wandering around aimlessly. That's
pretty much.
It's a rambling game.
You know what's funny, though?
Oh,
I forget what level I stopped at because I got stuck on one particular level because there's certain puzzle pieces I can't find. I'm like, oh, like it was aggravating me and I stopped.
Well, if you think that Banjo-Kazooie was good, we cannot forget the classic sequel to that, Banjo-Tooie.
That I still need to play.
Oh, and there was supposed to be a Banjo 3 for the GameCube, but all they came out with was nuts.
Hope you good, bro?
Nuts and bolts. Oh, that game's sickening.
Oh no. You want to talk about a game because from the same creators from Rare Games, Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh man, yeah, that was like the first PG-13 or technically R-rated video game that our parents thought, oh, this can't be so bad. They get it home, it's like, oh my god.
You know what's funny though? Here's a little story. Because back when the first Xbox came out, my stepdad, his old coworker buddy, modded his to where there was tons of games. There was Tony Hawk, GTA, Spider-Man, plenty of games. My brother actually found that game and it was Conquer Live and Reloaded. It was the remastered version.
Oh.
It wasn't until I was in high school when I found out that it was a remaster of the N64 game. Also, real quick, most goated for you, Casey, is tied with Star Fox 64. I did play a little bit of Star Fox.
Oh, I need to play the Star Fox games.
See, Star Fox was a franchise that I really didn't play much. The only time I ever really played Fox was when I played Smash 64.
Well, the only time I was ever introduced to any of the Star Fox cast was when I played Smash Brothers Brawl and Onward.
Now, Brawl was for the Wii, correct?
Yes.
Ah.
But they did have earlier games. I know there's a GameCube version for that, which I never played the GameCube.
Melee. The GameCube one was Melee.
Yeah, Melee. I never played Melee. So the first time we ever played Brawl was for the Wii. And then when we had the updated version for it, then we got it for the Wii U. And I do have a Switch version for it as well.
Oh, that's awesome, sweetheart. Bad Fur Day, I think, was the first N64 game that was rated M. No, it was.
It was. Oh, heck yeah, it was. Are you kidding me? Have you ever, if you go back and look through it, do you not see why it's rated M?
Mm-hmm.
I think basically what it comes...
Girlfriend?
What's that, bud?
Have you ever looked at Conker's Girlfriends?
Oh my gosh.
Why did they just take Lola Rabbit and mix it with Jessica Rabbit?
I mean, in a way, you're not wrong.
By the way,
let's see. Hold on. Super Smash Brothers, then Melee, then Brawl, then Wii U, then Ultimate. Yeah,
yes.
I think that's the correct order.
That's the correct order. Yes.
I'd say so.
Chat, who's your Smash mains? Chat.
Lucario.
Donkey Kong.
Do I need to get him out? I'll get him out.
Lucario, that's my guy.
Chat.
Second favorite, definitely Kirby.
Second favorite?
You know what's funny, Jay? You know what's funny, Jay? I have him on screen right now. I have him on camera right now. The best Smash character ever. I don't care what anyone says. Moist Critical. No, Moist Critical.
Kirby.
No, if you guys know Moist Critical, aka Charlie, he bashed Kirby. My buddy Jeremy actually told me this once before, and I was salty when he did that, but you know.
But I will tell you, Jay, right next to Lucario, my second favorite one I love to use, my boy, Greninja.
All right. All right. Hey, I don't
But
care
you
what
have seen Crash Bandicoot. Yes.
and I mean this in the nicest way, Kirby sucks.
Kirby sucks.
Get it?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I get it.
For fuck's sake.
I get it. I get it.
But no, I also have a heavy main, which is Bowser.
Okay. Okay.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Bowser can be really
And there's another main that I've actually been practicing with, and that is Incineroar.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll give you that one because I've been doing that too.
Okay. Now we want to go with like the newest Smash or
Girlfriend's a
the
baddie.
old-
What was that, bud?
You want to go now? Are we now? If we're gonna go tying up for like generational for Super Smash, are we going from like top 5 from like the OG, or are we going?
It could be
straight
any. It
from,
could be
like,
any.
the
It could be any, yeah.
It's your guys' opinions. Like,
Because I personally like the newer one more than the old one. The new one's just so hard to control.
here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. If we're still on the topic of Smash Bros, if we get a new Smash game for the Switch 2, do you think we could get some Mario movie elements of the characters?
Oh, that would
Maybe.
be nice.
We've smashed before, have we? Yes, we did, Will. I think we did it. We did it at Casey's once before. Yeah, because we did Mario Party too.
Oh my God, Mario Party! That's one that I actually played with
Oh,
my friends.
oh my God, the
game-
Mario Party games.
it
Oh my
was-
God.
Hey guys,
Yeah, I love
Mario
it.
Party
Forget
stream
Mario-
when? Mario
forget
Party
Mario
stream when?
Party. I mean,
Oh my
forget
God,
Mario
yes.
Party. Might as well just call it Mario Aggravation.
Mario Aggravation. Oh my God.
Well, let's
You're
do
not
it.
wrong there.
Well, speaking on the topic of the Mario Party games, like, what was your guys' very first one you ever played?
2.
I played the very first one.
Mario Party 8 was my first one.
No, wait,
Really?
Mario Party 3 was the first one for me.
Mario Party 2 is the most goated one for you. Casey? No, we played that one multiple times before. Wait, was that the one when we had the freaking foos hockey and me and you just completely messed that up? I have it on my Switch too, by the way. I have it. I have that clip saved.
Well, we played which Mario Party did we do on the Switch, babe?
I think it was 2.
Was it 2?
Yeah. But anyway, guys, hope you guys are enjoying the podcast so far. We're having a good time right now. We're reminiscing our childhood memories.
Yeah, Mario Party 2 is actually like that's a lot of fun. But yeah, Mario Party 8 was the first one I ever got, and then I had 9 and 10. Out of those 3, though, I'd say Mario Party 8 is probably my favorite one.
Yeah, Mario Party has to be probably one of the better ones.
There's nothing. Here's the thing, though. I like 9 and 10. Don't get me wrong. But there's just something so nostalgic about Mario Party 8. Like, I love the levels in that one.
What was the one? I can't remember for the life of me. I can't remember which Mario Party it was, but it has that one mini game where you have to swim and avoid the whirlpools.
Oh,
And was it 2? Was it 2 or 3?
It had to have been 2.
I think it might have been.
one of those. I don't remember which one.
Because
But
it was not in 3. That much I do know. The one in 3 was definitely the one where you had to you basically went around this board game kind of like SQ place.
Yeah, it was something like that.
see, like the N64 is definitely one of the goated consoles out there. Like with this, the constant like you have Mario, you have Zelda, you have Smash Bros, you have Yoshi's Island.
Oh heck yeah!
Resident Evil 2. No, you want to talk about one of the first horror games? Because you guys know me, I'm a big horror fan. Resident Evil 2 was the first horror game I ever played.
And obviously with GoldenEye 007, first multiplayer game for the N64.
For me, it was Army Men Sarge's Heroes.
This is technically like a classified like Disney horror game. It was actually the first one I ever played. Babe, I think I told you this once before. For the GameCube back in the day, they actually had a game made for the Haunted Mansion.
I remember that one. I remember that one well.
But guess what? Like Spider-Man, I never completed it.
Oh my gosh.
And you want to know why?
Why?
Because back in the day, this was before I got into horror. Because your girl here was a big old chicken shit.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. I never
See-
completed it.
See, like Resident Evil for me, Resident Evil 2, mind you, that was the first game. It creeped me out, but it wasn't like, I had to sleep with the lights on kind of scary. Like the scares were great. I was in it just for, shooting the zombies and fighting the bosses and everything.
Yeah, like I said, like I said, for me, babe, you got to remember, like, that's way, way before I got numb to all the horror stuff. Don't get me wrong, that is a game I am going to play again at some point when I upload it on my Dolphin emulator at some point. Because I want to have the satisfaction of actually, like, completing that game.
Oh, no, sweetheart, do what you got to do with that.
And this is also, by some fans, now that I remember, it is actually classified, if you think about it, not just an adventure game, but it is technically a horror Zelda game. It's the continuation, babe, of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask.
See, a lot of people do consider Majora's Mask a type of horror.
It is technically.
That has got to be one of the most, well, it's not the most iconic, but it's definitely classified as horror. I'm telling you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, no.
And if anything, I think out of all the Zelda games I've played, that has got to be one of the most ridiculously hard games I've ever played.
Oh my gosh, no. 2 games. Go ahead, Jay, go ahead.
My brother actually, well, I also got it for him technically. The cartridge for Majora's Mask gold case. The cartridge.
Ooh. No. See, 2 games that in the horror genre. The first one, if you want to consider it horror, Medieval. For those of you, if you guys know that one, Medieval. It's a medieval themed zombie monster game. The main character, his name is John Fortescue. This game right here was probably one of my favorites. I wonder if I can bring it up on here. I'll bring it up on the...
I guess that's kind of debatable, like if it's classified as a horror.
Right here, hold on, right here. And you guys can see the new transitions. Check this out. Whoop. Yeah, this is what, okay, for you guys watching, this is what Medieval was. One of my favorite PlayStation games right here. This one, and then the other one I was thinking, let's go back to the studio. Evil Dead, Hail to the King.
Ooh.
That one right there.
Don't forget about the Scissor Man.
What was that?
Don't forget about the Scissor Man.
Scissor Man?
Ooh. Not the Scissor Man.
Not the Scissor Man. Anything but the Scissor Man. I definitely... Nah, but we are approaching an hour in. I hope you guys are enjoying this show. I mean, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Another topic I want to bring up.
Oh, right.
Is there any particular part of a game that has aggravated you? A specific level, a specific, boss fight or something? Was there any part of a game that just, you're like, oh, why do I have to get to this? Why is this? Oh, I have to fight this boss or I have to beat this level. Like what level?
There were 2 games for me, actually. The first one was Donkey Kong Country, and that was obviously the minecart rides, having to constantly jump the tracks, make sure that you landed it correctly, and get all of those points, the red balloons, and the letters, and all that other junk. I'm like, why do I have to keep redoing this freaking level? And the second one was DuckTales Remastered, having to constantly do all those big bosses, especially fighting Count Dracula right at the very end of the game. Once I finally beat that, I'm like, screw you, I win.
I could tell you this, babe, in terms of like levels or boss fights or whatever that I would find aggravating, we'd be here for at least maybe 3 hours. I could write a book on all the stuff that I would actually find aggravating in some of the games I played. And one of them that immediately comes to mind, because I just about a year or so ago I played this, when Mario Wonder came out for the Switch.
Ooh.
There is a particular level where you are racing against the clock with this like purple water or whatever rising up, and Mario can't touch it, otherwise he dies. but you are traversing along these like really like skinny friggin' blocks, and you have to be like super quick. I gotta tell you, I was at this level for maybe 3 days straight trying to get it, and it was causing me to actually like scream at my TV, like,
Oh
why
no,
can't
sweetheart,
I do this?
sweetheart, climbing up a shaft on platforms while something's rising. What does that sound like? Something
God.
recently. What does that remind you of, babe? Of what we've been playing recently?
Yep, sounds like Peak almost.
Climbing up the kiln in Peak while avoid the
Wait.
lava.
Oh yeah. But I'm telling you, this particular Mario level was pissing me off so badly. Like I was literally rage quitting. And
Oh
I'm like,
no.
it was getting me so friggin' mad. I don't know how the hell I did it. There was one particular day where I'm like, all right, you know what? This is the last level I need to do in order to 100% complete Mario Wonder. So I literally sat in my bedroom for 4 hours one particular afternoon, and I was going back and forth, and I could hear. Not only was I getting so heated up, because I would make it to the top, and then all I'd have to do is just do one little stupid friggin' move, and I would screw myself. And I was getting mad, and I could feel I was all hot. And I'm like, okay, I gotta focus. Don't panic. Just go for it and see what the hell happens. I finally got to the top of the level. I dropped my controller. I dropped to my knees, and I was like, "Thank you."
That's my girl.
Yes.
No, we've all been there. We've all been there, you know.
Oh,
Like once you tackle.
Let me say this though. It felt so good.
One moment.
Finally
Keep going,
completing-
guys. Hold on.
It felt so good getting to the top of that level that not only was I feeling very hot, but my heart was racing, and it was such an overwhelmingly good feeling that I actually like found myself like just tearing up a little bit, because that level was aggravating me so badly.
It's that adrenaline rush, really.
It was definitely an adrenaline rush.
Overwhelmed with emotions that you can't decide which ones are happening first.
Oh yeah, but that was the last level I needed to complete Mario Wonder, and oh my god, I was so satisfied.
Your reward was just.
It was such a good feeling.
Oh heck yeah!
So good. I'm trying to think. There's other ones that I'm trying to remember. What's another one? Oh, I mean, hell.
One second, my mom asked me for something.
Oh, no problem. Here we go. Here's a good topic. I could tell you aggravating levels from when I used to play all of the Sonic games.
Oh, Sonic is definitely a rage maker. My brother has broken many controllers over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my brother is a rager.
Back in the day, I used to be like in my early teens, but like,
dude,
I've calmed down as of late. You know, there's certain like it's basically like it's more frustrating than like pure anger, because at the end of the day, it's just a game.
It's just remember that, everybody. It's just a game.
It's only game.
Consume you.
It's only game.
It's only game. But like, I get like, this having a part of a game that just it just gets to you. It pushes your buttons, pun intended. But you get frustrated for a second, you beat it, you get over it, you move on, boom. For me, my bane, the bane of my existence, was actually from Resident Evil 2, believe it or not.
Really?
Because I played this on the N64, and there was a part of the game, actually it was end game. You have to basically trigger an elevator for the escape train to leave basically the whole area where you're at. And upon doing so, there's the final boss you have to fight. You have to make sure that you are, and I did this multiple times, showing up to the fight unprepared, low health, and I always played as Leon. I never played as Claire. For some reason, I thought, I could shoot him with a magnum. I could, if I have the herbs to heal myself and everything, I'd be fine. When I finally like got him down to the second stage, he's faster, his attacks are stronger. I already knew I was cooked. So I made sure I had a shotgun. I had plenty of green herbs. I even like fiddle with my controller to like bounce, like, you know, when to pull back, when to charge in to shoot. Because a lot of the times the camera is very sensitive, especially when you run around a corner. So, and I was around, I want to say 5 or 6. I didn't beat the game until I was around 8 years old. So that right there was a big victory for me, like to be able to finally beat the boss, get on the elevator, and basically end the game. I felt so relieved, like one of the biggest victories I had. And I believe the Tyrant was the name of the boss in Resident Evil 2.
Oh, wow. Well, as great a victory as that sounds, I'm afraid I have some somber news. I may have to end my spot right here in the live stream.
That's all right. That's all right. You know, we've been going for about an hour. I believe it'll be time to end.
Well, you and I can go for a little bit more, sweetie.
Okay. But anyway, thank you so much, JV, for joining us.
No problem, dudes. Keep rocking on, keep gaming, and remember, always make sure you take at least half an hour between games, and always take deep breaths when you're feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, yes.
All righty. Well, thank you again so much, bro. Really appreciate having you on.
No problem, dudes. Catch y'all later.
All righty. Later, bud. Take care, ma'am. Well, it was great having him on.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we'll go for another half hour before we end it off. But continuing from that, Resident Evil 2, amazing game, tough bosses, overall great game. So I actually have a question for you now, my love.
What's that?
We're going to, speaking of horror games, game moments that have terrified you the most.
Oh my God. There's a couple of stories I could tell you with that one.
Is it just going to be nothing but FNAF?
Well, one of them actually kind of traverses back to Majora's Mask, as a matter of fact. Okay, so get this one. All I'm going to tell you is, babe, listen, if you want to play it, you go right ahead at some point, but I'm going to tell you, there's going to be some parts where even, like, now I'm still kind of terrified a little bit. So there's a particular part, okay, in Majora's Mask where it's essentially their version of a water temple. They call it the Great Bay Temple, okay? It's like a little, like beach area. It's nice looking. You know, the Zoras are there and all that jazz. Okay. So there was one point, actually there's 2 moments in that. So when you're trying to find the entrance, okay, to the temple, right? You have to do this little side quest in order to get a song before you enter the temple, right?
Right.
Okay.
Hold on, sweetheart. Hold on. Protocol. What is that, Will? What if I bought her Protocol? Is that a specific type of Callisto Protocol?
Oh.
Let me check this out. Here's the thing, though. Because she plays it on her laptop, I don't think her laptop would run because I'm looking at it right now, bud. Because she plays on her laptop, because she plays Peak right now on her laptop. It might be a lot.
It would probably be a pretty big file.
We'll get you a good PC, honey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But anyway, so there's a side quest that you're supposed to do in order to get this song. You're looking for what are essentially Zora eggs, okay? And you got to bring them back to a lab so that you can I guess what's the word I'm looking for? You can incubate them, okay? But in order for you to do that, there's a particular part where you run across a little seahorse and you got to pair him with their friend. And there is one area that a seahorse takes you and you swim way down into like this, like almost like a cave. Like it's a trench with like a lot of caves and you don't know what the fuck is in these caves. Okay.
Right.
So now now the cool thing about it is, the whole thing with like masks in the game, you can put on a mask and you turn into a Zora. That's a pretty cool feature. Now you're swimming in the water and you're diving down into this friggin' trench. I gotta tell you, the first time I actually did it, okay, the seahorse tells you gotta be careful when you're traversing into the caves because there are sea snakes that are hiding in the caves.
Ooh.
And if they spot you,
Horror game. Hold on, sweetheart. Horror game. Dead Space Clone. That is a game I still need to play. I have it on my PS5. PS5s, man.
Oh. But yeah, these sea snakes, if they spot you, they slither out and they do this like they kind of groan at you, when you come out of the cave. So I didn't anticipate like how close I was to one of the cave entrances, because that's the other thing too. There's a couple of eggs that are in the caves that are guarded by these friggin' things.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
So, in order to kill them, you get an electric force field, which I think, again, that's a pretty cool feature for the Zoras in the game. But I didn't anticipate how close I was to one of the cave entrances. And this fucking thing came screaming out of the cave and did such a loud growl. I was so scared. I turned off my friggin' GameCube and I lost half of my progress.
Oh no, honey.
I was so terrified. In fact, that was one of the parts in the game that actually kind of put me off from playing that for a little while until I was like, 14, maybe 15 years old. And I restarted the whole game and I got up to that part. I looked at my sister and I gave her my controller and I said, "Your turn." And she looked at me like, "Are you serious?" I go, "I'm being dead ass serious. I'm not doing this. Like, you can do it." And she called me.
You do it this time. You do it this time.
I looked at her and I'm like, your turn.
Nope, your turn.
So she teased me about it. And I'm like, listen, I got the shit scared out of me. I'm not about to do that again. So she took care of it, and then I continued on my merry way. I get to the temple, many, many hours later. Now, part of what you're supposed to do is there's 4 main bosses that are in the game. So, it's a long game, but there's only, like I said, there's only 4, technically 5 major enemies that you have to get in the entire game, right? So the monster that's in the Great Bay Temple, it's this gigantic, evil, possessed looking fish. He's called Gyorg. He's a terrifying looking son of a bitch. Let me tell you what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to dive down into the water, and when he comes at you, you're supposed to shock him with your force field, and you can either you have to use your Zora fins, which are gigantic boomerangs on the sides of your hands. You use them to knock him out, unless you can get him midair up on the platform, and if you quickly switch, you can get him with your sword as many times as you can. So I'm in the middle of doing this one particular battle, right? Now, there was one part where I was running low on health, okay? And there are pots in the water, but I'm looking around and I'm like, where did this son of a bitch go? Now, meanwhile, it's also dark. You can just barely see in the water, right?
Right.
Babe, I was swimming not even a good halfway around the platform to see where the hell he went. This dude comes screaming around the friggin' corner, full force up in my face. I screamed to the point where I dropped my controller.
Oh no.
And I had to quickly pause the game, and I looked at Brie and she goes, "Are you okay?" I looked at her and I go, Brie, finish this son of a bitch off for me because I'm about to have a heart attack.
Oh no.
I had to stop.
I mean, that's understandable. Like a part of the game that gets too scary for you that you just can't continue. It's just, you need a break. That's completely normal. That's completely normal, hun.
I legitimately had to stop. She looked at me and she was like, come on, you can do it. I'm like, Brianna, please. I'll like take the controller and just do it because I feel like my heart's about to come out of my chest right now. Like,
oh no.
But I said, just get him. She did. She took care of it. And then I was able to finish the game from then onwards for like, I think it took me another like 2-3 days or whatever to complete the game like in full. But I looked at her and I said, nope, you can handle him. Like, I'm about to have a heart attack right now.
Oh no. Just to let you guys know, we're going to be wrapping it up here in a few minutes. So the podcast will be over and then we'll be wrapping up the stream. Because I believe I need to get me some dinner.
Yeah, I got to get some dinner myself in a little bit.
But anyway,
I'm telling you, that was one of the most terrifying moments I ever had in one of those games. Oh my God.
Oh no. Like a lot of those right there has just been...
I literally felt like my heart was going to come out of my chest.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, you lovely people out there, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, you know, being a part of this show. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more of these in the future. Tay, of course, is going to be joining, right, honey?
Of course I will.
But no, one last thing before we end, like the podcast will be over and that's when we'll end up the stream. For me, I think most terrifying moment in a game for me. I don't want to. I mean, FNAF has some good ones, but I don't think Five Nights at Freddy's has my most terrified moment. I think for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Well, actually, I was gonna say kind of on the whole thing with like FNAF, babe. I will tell you the one thing that absolutely truly scared me in at least one Five Nights at Freddy's game.
All right.
One word. Monty.
Let's rock.
I hate him with a passion so freaking much. I hate him.
If you guys want to see some security breach in the future, let us know. But before we go, for me, for Five Nights at Freddy's, it'll be security breach, the endoskeleton room. That's probably one up there for me. But
the endoskeleton room is pretty terrifying.
But honestly, when it comes to games, what terrified me the most, Dungeon Nightmares is up there.
Oh, Dungeon Nightmares is also up there. Oh, yes.
Randomly generated maze dungeon crawling games are some of my favorites. Really good. But I honestly have to give it the real winner is either Emily Wants to Play 1 and 2.
I had a feeling it was going to be one of those.
Or Vanish.
Yeah.
I was going to say Outlast. Outlast is scary, but it's more thriller horror than like terrified horror. Vanish. If you guys don't know, Vanish is a randomly generated horror game made by 3 drunk men. It's available. It's a free game. You can go to Game Jolt and look up Vanish. Markiplier played this back in 2013, and this is my favorite horror game of all time just because of, you know, the low hum of the score. The monsters are absolutely terrifying. The randomly generation of the map, it's incredible. I've done multiple videos on it. You should go, hold on. First off, if you haven't already, oh, 1 second. My stream elements isn't working because if you guys haven't joined the Discord, 1 second here. For some reason, my Discord doesn't want to work. But anyway, you guys can find my Discord on my channel. But I've done videos of Vanish on my YouTube channel. Very amazing game. If you guys haven't, I definitely recommend playing it. Seriously, if you want a good scare, Vanish is the way to go. But metalheads, honey, that is all the time we have for this episode of the Metal Memoirs. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank my love, Tay, for joining, and JV as well.
Yeah, this was really fun.
yeah, I definitely got to plan the next episode. I do have to get in touch with the people that I asked to be a part. So I'm probably going to do that this week, depending on their availability. But anyway, Metalheads, look forward to the next episode, and I will see you guys real soon. Much love, guys.